Hey guys, Chad Corbett, co-founder, trainer, and wearer of many hats here at alltheleads.com. Thanks for stopping by to watch another of our Tips from the Trainer video series. If you're on our blog, be sure when this is finished to leave a comment, let us know what you think, and all the way at the bottom you can subscribe to our blog so you get an email when the next blog is posted. If you're seeing this on YouTube, give us a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, leave some comments, let us know what you think. And the next time one of these videos is posted, you'll be one of the first to know. So let's jump right into it. Today, I want to talk about the 3 things that you should not do when you're getting into the probate niche. This was kind of inspired by a conversation I had late last week with, at the time, a prospect who had just found out about us. He's written a book on probate. Written a book on trusts, and was trying to find a way into the probate niche, and found us, I think, probably on YouTube. But he had asked me a question that no one ever had, and I've talked to thousands of people over the last few years doing this. And he said, "So this all sounds just so great. Let me ask you this, Chad. What are the 3 things that you see a lot of people do that I should not do?" And I love the question because he's coming into this like he's looking to dominate this in his market. He's doing well in getting trust listings from trust estates, but he's missing all the probate. And he's in a very, very high median price. I think his median price is around $900,000. So great question. I thought it deserved a video. We do talk about a lot of this stuff on Mastermind calls, but it's kind of all scattered out and in 500 plus hours of audio archives. So I thought I'd bring it all right back here and give you guys a video answer to his great question. So it kind of took me, I wasn't expecting it. So on my feet, I quickly thought, okay, where do I see most people fail or leave money on the table, leave opportunity on the table? The first thing that came to mind was do not try to deduce too much from the data. So we're giving you, if you, in spreadsheet form, if you export your probate leads, you'll see, I think it's 59 columns, and then the rows will be however many leads you have. But you have 59 pretty general data points, and you can't really tell what's happening with the people or the situation by looking at a spreadsheet. The most common thing that I see folks do is they look at the deceased last known address and they say, oh, well, that's an apartment. I'm not going to waste my time. Or the decedent last known address matches the personal representative address. That's a surviving spouse, and I'm not going to call them. So they'll take a list of 100 leads and get it down to 50 before they even start. Now, there's dozens and dozens and dozens of stories of assets that have been uncovered that agents didn't expect, and investors. One of the most profound was a gentleman that was just first getting on the phones, first round of calls in probate ever, really. He wasn't a phone prospector. He got an $8 million commercial out parcel. It was a farm in the path of progress. We had another agent that uncovered I think it was a $53 million cliffside hotel in Northern California. You name it. We've had just 2 weeks ago, we had one agent who made one phone call and listed 13 houses. The deceased primary residence, his portfolio of 11 other rental properties, and the neighbor's house across the street because she did such a good job with the others. So you never know who owns what. And I always tell you, you'll hear me say lots and lots of times in those archives, pick up the phone, focus on people and situation, and then earn the right and segue into the real estate conversation. The next thing I told him was do not reinvent the wheel. The gentleman, some of our best customers, our best subscribers, who you hear on the Mastermind calls and you see in the case study videos, unfortunately, because they were seasoned, they had a lot of experience in the real estate space. They said, "Oh, that sounds great. Everything sounds good, but I'm going to do it my way." And it's really common for us to see successful agents and investors jump into this, do it their way for 4, 5, 6 months, and then call and say, "Chad, listen, I've spent thousands of dollars and this just doesn't work." And then we start to kind of pull apart their campaign and peel the layers back. And what we realize is they were doing it their way. And you'll see in some of the other videos I've made, I've personally wasted tens of thousands of dollars figuring out what didn't work. You never hear me talk about that. What we talk about are the things that have worked in our businesses. Every owner of this company two of us are licensed realtors, and all four of us are real estate investors. And we've done flips, we've done short sales, we've done private equity. So we have experience. We vetted this out before anything was ever presented to the public. We proved it out with our own money in our own real estate businesses, both as investors and on the brokerage side. So trust the process. We have 5 years of experience. We've trained thousands and thousands of agents and investors across the country. We know what works. We're hearing each day what's not working, what is working. We have a mastermind call. If you've never been to that, every Thursday at 1 o'clock, we talk about this. So don't overthink this. Don't try to reinvent the wheel. Trust the process. Now, you will hear us. We want you to get your personality into your letters, into your phone calls. No scripts. Like, you want to use your personality and use your sales language, not a script. But other than that, trust the system. What we teach is a minimum of 3 letters, each followed with a phone call over 90 days. Supplementing that increases your chances. So more letters, supplement it with a trifold brochure, a postcard, double up on your phone calls. Those things are all great. But trust the system and use it. The last thing, and this is the one that really I kind of touched on earlier, folks who are really, really seasoned in, especially, well, I'll say it's probably the same for investors or realtors, but people who are used to taking a list that has, the property address, property details, MLS photos, whatever they're getting, FSBO, expired, absentee, NOD, foreclosure, whatever that is. A lot of folks, they will jump right in and be like, hey, I'm calling about 123 Walnut Street. Is it still for sale? And that works on a lot of those lists. It's a different situation. With probate, it's not that effective. It's a good way to get the door slammed in your face because it's what they've been hearing from anyone else who might be competing with you. They take the track that what has worked for them and on other lists, and they just go straight for the jugular. Let's talk about real estate. That's what I do and how I make money. So what I recommend to not do is label yourself as a realtor, as an agent, as a broker, as an investor. Get rid of the label. I'm not Chad the agent. I'm Chad, and I have a team of people here locally built specifically to help families in probate going through what you're going through. And it's more words. It takes another 20 seconds to say, but it's the difference in, nope, we've got it handled, or, no worries, our attorney has everything handled, thanks, click. It's the difference between that and, oh, well, I've never heard of that, it's a difference in getting hung up on an engagement. There's tons and tons of examples of this in our role plays. If you want, you can find some of our archived role plays here, or you can go to the conference call video archive on this page. If you're on our blog, look under education and training and the conference call video archive. We'll also link to that in the description here. But you'll hear us ease into these conversations. So the key is to focus on people and situation. And then once you've built rapport, you've earned the right to talk about real estate. We're talking about 2 minutes here, guys. If you have these conversations right, if you can be empathetic, focus on their situation, and as Chris Voss would put this, it's tactical empathy. So your tactic is to learn as much as you can about them, so you understand what's driving their behavior, what emotions are behind it, and then you can tailor the conversation and your service to what's bothering them. So a simple segue, well, Mr. Smith, we help a lot of families, and there's a lot of different ways we can do that. What's been the toughest thing for you guys so far? And then silence is key. Typically, they'll pause and process for a couple of seconds, and then they'll unload the story on you. You can simply re-engage by saying, okay, well, listen, I'd say 9 out of 10 of our best clients have felt the same way you feel right now. Let me ask this. The biggest thing that most families have trouble with is real estate. So is there any real estate in the estate? And do you guys have a plan for that? And again, silence. Be quiet and listen. So rather than coming in and guessing, saying, okay, well, I see you're the executor of an estate, and there's a piece of real estate at 123 Walnut Street. Tell me what you're going to do with it. You've focused on people and situation. You've built at least superficial rapport, but that's usually all it takes to get the engagement to go on through this conversation. Then you segue to real estate because it's the first thing most families want to talk about. It's the biggest problem. You're telling them why. you're bringing them into that part of the conversation. What you'll find, and I encourage you, if you're willing to risk it, go test both approaches. Pick up the phone and say, "Hi, I'm trying to reach Jane Doe, who's the executor of Mary Doe's estate, and I want to talk about the house at 123 Walnut Street." Or pick up the phone and say, "Hey, I'm trying to reach Jane Doe, whatever name I used. And, oh, hey, Jane, well, listen, the reason I'm calling, we got a team of people here locally that help families like yours that are going through probate. And we found that if we reach out early, we can take a lot of stress away and handle a lot of things that the family thought they were going to have to handle on their own. So if there's one thing you could get off your plate right now, what would that be? Like today, if it could be my problem instead of yours." And then I listen. And she starts to tell me her problems and what's bothering her. And then you'll segue by saying something like, "All right, well, Jane, listen, we've got processes and people in place to handle all of that. Listen, something you haven't mentioned, but the biggest challenge for most families is dealing with the real estate and the personal property in it. So tell me, is there any real estate in the estate that needs addressed? And if so, do you have a plan for that?" Silence. And try those different approaches. This is my language. I don't believe in scripts. This is what's worked for me. I probably never say it the same way twice. But the key is, do not talk about real estate in the beginning. Build rapport, earn that right, and then jump in and talk about real estate. So there's a lot of things that you should not do in this space. Those were the 3 things that were top of mind when he asked me that question. And I just wanted to kind of capture that to share with you guys. So hopefully this has been helpful to you. Again, my name's Chad Corbett. I'm a co-founder and trainer here at All the Leads. This is part of our Tips from the Trainer series. You can see more of those videos here. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel below. Subscribe to our blog if you're there, all the way down at the bottom. And leave us some comments, guys. Let us know if there's anything that you'd like to see, if there's other videos that you think, "Man, I wish this guy would talk about this." Drop us some comments. Give us some ideas. I mean, we're always looking to create content for basically what you need. We're willing to do. So give us some ideas of what you would like to see in future Tips from the Trainer videos. We also have Ask the Expert series. If you want us to bring somebody from another industry in that has something to do with the probate situation, let us know. We'll go find the expert in the field and we'll have them here. But thanks so much for watching, guys. This has been Tips from the Trainer. Have a great day.